Oi oi, alright, how's it going? I'm Grant, you're you, this is Doodle Review, and we're a channel that's all about all types of music, but it's got a whiff of guitars or an alternative rock sort of vibe. We're all over it like a cheap suit. We pretty much review something in the rock category every other day, so if that's your vibe, mate, subscribe. You'll definitely hear me talk about a band that you know about or that you love in the next few days, and maybe in an upcoming video you might find a band or an album that you don't yet know that you're going to love. Today we're talking about the album Los Angeles. Los Angeles is a really cool project that I feel went a little under the radar when it came out in the autumn of last year. It's a project that brings together Tolhurst, most known for being the original drummer of The Cure, and Peter Clark, aka Budgie, the original drummer of Susie and the Banshees. Together with Jackknife Lee, a producer who's, amazing, got an amazing name for one, but whose credits range from Taylor Swift to Open Mike Eagle to The Hives to U2, this trio have created an album that should be on the list of any fan of art rock, post-punk or dark wave. Tolhurst, Budgie and Lee are the bedrock of the album, writing and recording the majority of the instrumentals on the record and then inviting various notable vocalists to write lyrics and sing on each track. This sees the album bring together stars like James Murphy of LCD Sound System, Bobby Gillespie of Primal Scream, Isaac Brock from Modest Mouse, and the poet Lonnie Holley, among others. Additionally, we get guitar contributions from Beanie Man from U2, Mark Bowen from Idols, and harp from Mary Litmore. It's an absolutely stacked album, like a fantasy football league of death disco, 80s goth rock and art rock. Ostensibly an album created by drummers, there is a lot of drumming going on. This contributes to some of the record's greatest moments and occasionally some of its downsides. Certainly the trademark feel of Budgie, a player who gained notoriety for his unusual rhythmic presence on those early Susie and the Banshee records. Budgie's feel really shines, giving all of these songs a unique tone. Occasionally though, I find over the record's near hour runtime that the production applied to these rhythms becomes a little samey. It's something that goes almost undetected until you come across a track that kind of breaks away from this onslaught of treated bongos, unusual percussion and polyrhythms, and then it's all of a sudden incredibly conspicuous, going from Train with No Station to Bodies, for instance. And yes, okay, I can hear any potential fans of either Tolhurst or Budgie out there kind of readying the comments being like, you're criticizing an album by drummers for having too much drums, meow, 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 meow. But it's not the drums themselves, okay? It's the fucking bongos and tin pans and kitchen sink shit. I just hate that's the go-to thing sometimes to really prove creativity when it comes to rhythm, is to kind of add a bunch of that into the mix and wang it up really loud and kind of pan it left and right. It's like, dude, we know drums can be creative. Leave it. I just don't like that particular sound and think it's a tad overdone on Los Angeles. But to be fair, as a labour of love that's been pulled together by musicians usually supporting another artist's kind of commanding vision, finally in the driving seat themselves, a little bit of indulgence is expected. That bombardment of rhythm is a relatively small but tangible example of that, as is the length of the record. Personally, I think getting shot of the kind of low points like Bodies and Country of the Blind would have worked wonders for Los Angeles, pulling the record to a tight 45 minutes. Country of the Blind is the third Primal Scream Bobby Gillespie collaboration, and this one just kills the momentum with a weak chorus and some bad sounding horns. I understand Lonnie Holley is regarded as a legend, but Bodies just feels about as like BBC Six music as you can get. I'm not sure how else to describe it. The spoken word just conjures an image of an older dude whose satisfaction from the track comes from, more from the ability to smugly suggest that this is real music than the music itself. That's a bit of an obnoxious take. I'm sure there's plenty of people that enjoy the tune, but yeah, not for me. Shedding those tracks and getting the record to a tight 45 would, I think, allow other aspects like the abundance of bongos to be less apparent. Those nitpicks aside though, there are some seriously cool highlights. Both James LCD Sound System Murphy features on the record are great and find the singer really putting it all out there in terms of energy, ad-libs and sheer presence. We Got to Move featuring Isaac Brock is a late album highlight, with the fast tempo and clipped breathless vocal delivery reminding me of like Devo or even Eagles of Death Metal. I'm sure any mention of U2 will have a good portion of this audience rolling their eyes. However, you know, the instrumental tracks featuring Beanie Man from that band are genuinely some of the most interesting here. It's a rare moment that reminds you that Beanie Man and that U2 band at one point did actually have some credibility and actually did come up in the same scene as the underground heroes putting this record together. I think my overall favourite track is one of the Bobby Gillespie features called Ghosted at Home. It's just got a cool trip hop but make it aggressive type beat, weird orchestral tune-ups in the verse, and a really strong present bass guitar that just sits perfectly in the mix. Gillespie's vocals are fantastic, doing the aloof, enigmatic thing in the verse and then really bringing some colour with the high range in the chorus and the backing vocals. Overall, this album is a definite must if you are into post-punk, old school goth, dark wave or kind of art rock. To me it's a high 6 because of some of the baggage in the record overall, but there's a lot to love, and for super fans of those bands or genres that I've mentioned, you'll likely get something you really enjoy out of this, so seek it out. But alright, that's enough fraff from me. What did you think? Have you heard it yet? Will you? And if you do, come back, let me know how you feel about it. Subscribe, share some thoughts, show some love, or just tell some abuse in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers mate, bye.